Man, you blinked and suddenly Steel City is on fire. Every headline hits like an earthquake in Pittsburgh. I'm Jack Romano, and I gotta ask you straight up, can we really dream of a Super Bowl when our most explosive receiver vanishes from camp? Trade rumors are swirling about half the roster, and the blind side of our veteran QB looks like a black hole. The pressure is sky high, the moves are bold, and yeah, some folks inside that locker room are already throwing around all or nothing. But is that courage or panic? Alright, Steelers Nation, before we break down the madness coming out of camp, do me a quick favor. If you're loving this kind of deep dive, hit that subscribe button. It helps this channel grow and keeps our Steelers family strong. Let's ride. If there's one thing that keeps real Steelers fans up at night, it's injuries at critical positions during training camp. And guess what? That's exactly what's happening right now with Calvin Austin III. The guy has flat out disappeared from the last 2 practices, and worst part, no one knows why. Mike Tomlin, being classic Tomlin, slapped a day-to-day tag on him but didn't give a single detail, and that's when panic mode kicks in. Let's be real, we're not in a place where we can afford to lose a receiver who's still building chemistry with Rodgers, right? Austin and DK Metcalf are basically the backbone of this wide receiver core. Without Austin, this offense, already sputtering in camp, starts to fall apart. What's weird is, no one saw him get hurt. Nothing. Zero. He finished his last practice walking just fine, then showed up in street clothes on the sideline. So either it's one of those shows up later injuries, or they're hiding something. Either way, this is a big deal. Rodgers needs to build that connection with Austin now, not 3 weeks from now. In the meantime, guess who's starting to turn heads? Scotty Miller. Yep. The low-profile pickup is getting meaningful snaps and showing consistency. I'm not saying he's taking anyone's job, but if Austin stays sidelined, Miller could absolutely start climbing the depth chart. And let's not forget Roman Wilson, Robert Woods, Skowronek, even rookies like Rock Taylor and Keshawn Williams. They'll all get real reps in the first preseason game. And you know how it goes. Someone flashes, someone stumbles, and the rotation shifts fast. But none of that really eases the concern. Because Austin isn't just another name, he stretches the field, frees up Metcalf, and lines up in the slot. If he's out too long, this offense starts shaking at its core. What do you think's going on? Are they hiding something? Or just being cautious? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because to me this smells like a problem waiting to blow up. And speaking of big news, there's a bombshell rumor swirling about a massive defensive name possibly headed to Pittsburgh, and the price tag ain't pretty. You ready for this one? Because what started as a wild rumor is picking up steam. Serious insiders are floating the idea of the Steelers trading for none other than Micah Parsons. Yeah, that monster from the Cowboys just requested a trade, and you better believe Pittsburgh's name is in the mix. Now, take a deep breath, because the rumored package is heavy. Alex Highsmith, 2 second-round picks, and a 7th. Man, just thinking about losing Highsmith tightens the chest. The guy is rock solid, brings consistent pressure, knows the system, and is part of this defense's identity. But then again, we're talking about Parsons. He's an alien off the edge. Since entering the league, he's never posted less than 12 sacks in a season. Picture him next to TJ Watt with Cam Hayward in the middle. That's like resurrecting the Steel Curtain on steroids. But here's where the head starts to battle the heart. Can you really pay 2 edge rushers elite money? Watt just got a monster extension, and Parsons is going to want more. Probably north of Watt's $123 million. So, how do you keep this roster balanced? The cap doesn't stretch forever. And here's the kicker. Even with Highsmith and 2 seconds on the table, it might not be enough. The Cowboys know they've got a generational defender. Why would they settle unless it's a massive win for them? Now think about this. What if it's all smoke? What if Omar Khan is just lurking in the background, letting the Cowboys sweat while we sit here hyped up and guessing? Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked. Khan isn't the type to jump recklessly. But still, if the front office sees this season as go big or go home, they might just pull the trigger. Because with Rodgers at QB, the window is short. We're not keeping this core together for 3 to 4 years. It's now or never. So would you give up Highsmith and those picks for Parsons? Or is it crazy to go all in on a guy who's going to demand a record-breaking contract? Sound off, because this could flip the entire identity of our defense, and if the trade doesn't happen, maybe there's a plan B, starting with the secondary. Yeah, there's movement there too. So while the Parsons saga simmers in the background, the Steelers' front office quietly made a move that could pay off down the road. They signed rookie cornerback Daryl Porter Jr. And before you roll your eyes thinking, just another camp body, hold up, there's more to this story. Porter Jr. is the son of a former NFL player, had a solid college run, and he's filling a real need in a banged-up secondary. He started at West Virginia, transferred to Miami, saw plenty of action, stayed productive, and even though he went undrafted, he impressed enough to land with the Bills. But they cut him a few days ago. Pittsburgh didn't wait. And no, he's not related to Joey Porter Jr., despite the last name. But that hasn't stopped fans from loving the whole Porter duo joke. I'm here for it. Jokes aside, his arrival shows this coaching staff is worried about secondary depth. We've seen this story before. Preseason hits, 2 or 3 DBs go down, and suddenly we're starting third stringers against starters. That's not it. Porter Jr. isn't a projected starter, but he brings rookie fire, clean tape, and a legit shot to make the practice squad, or even the 53-man if he shines. Also, Steelers worked out C.J. Henderson again. Yeah, the former first-rounder who passed through here but never suited up. They didn't sign him, but just inviting him in shows they're keeping a tight eye on that DB room. If Porter shows out in camp and preseason, he could absolutely sneak onto the roster. And if there's one thing we know about Tomlin, it's that he loves grinders who keep quiet and ball out. So keep this name on your radar. What do you think? Depth filler or hidden gem? Hit the comments. Because shoring up this defense, especially deep downfield, is critical, especially if we're really aiming to go toe-to-toe with the AFC elite. And speaking of reinforcements, there's a big name being watched to protect Rodgers' blind side, and this one could drop any day now. Here's a name that might not set the fan base on fire right away, but could quietly change everything for this offense. Andrus Peat. Yep, the veteran who spent years with the Saints, 3-time Pro Bowler, proven at guard and tackle. He's still a free agent, and word is Pittsburgh's monitoring him closely. And honestly, it makes complete sense. That left side of the O-line is still a giant question mark. Broderick Jones, while loaded with potential, still shows inconsistencies that make fans nervous. Rookies like Fautanu may have upside, but haven't yet faced real NFL pass rushers. With Rodgers at the helm, the last thing we can risk is blindside exposure. One blown block and that's your season. Done. Pete would be a stabilizer. He's started over 100 games, gone up against the league's best defenders, and knows how to handle stunts, blitzes, and overloads. Stuff young guys still struggle to recognize. Plus, with Arthur Smith running the offense and Pat Meyer coaching the line, a veteran like Pete could be a godsend in the locker room. And the best part? He won't break the bank. Projections say he'd take a deal between $1–2 million per year, right in the Steelers' budget without messing up future re-signings like Watts. That's value. And he doesn't even need to play every snap. Just having him ready for heavy sets or emergency duty could be a game changer. You know how the playoffs work. Depth wins games. Pete might be the kind of guy you only appreciate when he stonewalls a Bengals edge rusher in the fourth quarter. If I had to pick between him, George Fant, or Isaiah Wynn, I'm not even hesitating. Pete brings more versatility, more experience, and fits Tomlin's style better. He's tough, no drama, and brings locker room clout. So what do you think, Steelers Nation? Would you sign Pete today, or are you still iffy on bringing in a vet this late? Let me know in the comments. Because if this piece fits, Rodgers sleeps better, and we might finally start seeing this offense click. But stick around, because now it's time to tie it all together and ask the question that really matters in 2025. You know what scares me the most, brother? It's not Austin's mystery injury. It's not the risk of trading Highsmith. It's not Pete or Porter Jr. It's the silence. It's this eerie feeling that everything's moving, but no one's saying it out loud. It's do or die. Bottom line, Pittsburgh's playing this like it's the final chess match of the Steel Dynasty. So I'm asking you, straight to the heart, do you believe this rebuild is for real? If you do, smash that like and drop a comment. Can we still dream in Pittsburgh?